What is up? Welcome back to the SuperCoach Experience podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Savage, the coach of the Xavier Turbos. Round 10 is in the books, and it was a Papi masterclass that really topped off the weekend. It was looking like a good weekend for myself until that Melbourne game. I had no Melbourne players, so that was an absolute shambles for me. And firstly, people have to stop reaching out to me. Someone check up on Savs. Bro, SuperCoach isn't live. I'm not sitting here fucking crying because Papi scored 4 tries, okay? Stop asking me if I'm all right. I'm all right. SuperCoach is just a game. I'm not a fucking nerd. I'm not a nerd. You're a nerd. You're a nerd for asking me if I'm all right. It's just a game. Fuck. Hayden Williams is in the chat. Yoza. What a do, baby. Yeah, listen. I'm not angry. I'm not angry at all. Savs is on tilt. Have a Snickers, Savs, says Patrick Taylor. Listen, fuck you, cunt. Fuck you. Get out of the stream. I'm booting you from the stream. Have a Snickers. Nah, I'm actually kidding. Nah, it's one of those things. He's been the one player who has been really, really annoying not to own. And just every week he goes over for a try. And I've had luck with people like that in the past. Herbie Farnworth over the last 4 weeks feels like he's just scored a try every time he's been on the field since I bought him. But someone like Papi, I bought Ponga last week. I sold Tedesco this week. For me not to have Papi for this matchup, mind you, I actually thought that the Tigers would put up more of a fight. I was okay if Papi scored 100, but 179 when he was a captain option for a lot of people, it is a kick in the dick. A lot of people are probably like 300 points more than me, but it's okay. I'm happy. I made a couple of pushes over the last couple of weeks. It is a down week, but we still move forward. I'm still going to rank in the top 1K. I guarantee you, lads, 100%. So we will get there. These things happen. You just got to play smart footy. Make sure just go back to the drawing board next week and come out stronger next week. I'll give a nice little pep to the boys. Melbourne Storm won last week, put 62 on the Tigers this week. The Xavier Turbos are going to come out next week and absolutely fire. So we're all good. I'm not angry, I swear. All right, let's recap the week. And it started, I was having a really good week up until today, to be honest. Started really nice on Friday night. Dylan Brown, 68 points. Herbie Farnworth, 84 points as VC. Captain, I was always captaining Ponga. I really wanted Herbie to be a nice score because I was falling short in the hooker department. So I would have liked a free loop, but these things happen. 84 points is not a loopable score. Yongi is really coming out and killing it since Moses has come onto the scene. Makes a fair bit of money. I've actually gone to SuperCoach data on Instagram, and I wonder if I can show you right here. So we've got all our scores here. Just give me a second. I can remove this from the stage, and then I'll stop sharing the screen. Share screen. So if we go to Instagram here, SuperCoach data on Instagram actually shows there's a post for every game that shows every single player, their BE next week, and their price change this week. So you look at the list here. There's Riley Smith, who scored a good amount of points, makes 34K, break even of 5. Yongi makes 41K, break even of 37. And, he's color coordinated and everything. It's really handy. Oh, where does that come from? Why is it just gone? Yeah, right. But yeah, head over to his website, to his Instagram, and it's a really good follow because you can really see in real time. He usually uploads it pretty much straight away. If not, you'll know by the next day the break even. So yeah, give him a follow. It's a pretty solid follow. But yeah, Katonga, 78 points. Josh Adokar has quietly become a nice little option over the last couple of weeks. 600K. Makes a fair bit of money over the last few weeks, 94, 106, and then 82 on the weekend. I think leading into the buys, not the worst option, but not the best either. Riley Smith updated to 60 points, break even to 12, so he does make 30 odd K like we said before, and then has a really small break even. So I think he was probably a nice little play at hooker there. For the Dolphins, Nick Arima, top score with 94, Herbie Farnworth, 84. And I think the underrated one this year, Isaiah Katoa, 60 points. He's looking really, really good in NRL terms, but his Supercoach scores have been really good this year as well. Started at 390K, and there is not a single score in there that I'd be like, damn. I mean, there's that 42 against Broncos, but apart from that, every single score has been pretty solid. He hasn't had that massive game. He's had the 98 versus the Melbourne Storm, but yeah, he's been pretty solid this year. We've got Big M in the chat. See Papi dropping 170 on my Tigers like Natty and Brulia. I'm torn. Listen, I think I'd rather be in your position than be in my position where I just didn't have him or didn't support either side. I just wanted to turn a blind eye on that game. I was watching it at the pub with all the Mother's Day celebrations going on. Not drinking, obviously, because it's Sunday. I don't drink on work days. Only drink on a Friday, maybe one or two on a Saturday. But yeah, I'm torn in the asshole, to be honest. So I'd rather be torn, your sorts of torn than my sorts of torn. Let's go over to the next game, Friday night. This is where the weekend started to decline. The Knights versus the Titans. I had some really good scores here. I traded in Lucas this week for 90 points. Had Tino for 98, updated very nicely. Jaden Campbell played 86. Wasn't expecting much from him, but he really turned it on. Fletch Sharp updated to 89. Gagai, a nice little pod, 67. Marju, out 4 weeks potentially with an injury, 60 points. Bradman Best, 51 points. But the kick in the dick was Captain Kalen Ponga. Jesus Christ. He looked really, really... I've just got a comment here. Sorry, I was trying to read it, but he looked really, really disinterested. I'm very worried about owning Kalen Ponga, and hopefully he does come out next week prior to Origin and just absolutely blitzes the tournament. And then leading into Origin, Jesus, I really want to have some value for him to score some points. So, yeah, it's not how I wanted to end up the weekend. All my other players, like you look at Tino, Campbell, Lucas, like all my other players did really well over the weekend. Just the captain score let me down a little bit. And considering I didn't have Papi today, it really did let me down all weekend. So I think with Ponga looking into the future, I've just got to say, Phoenix Crossland, he's an average number 9 at best. Like, I think Kalen Ponga made him look really, really serviceable in 2023. I think Jack Cogger, that Penrith performance for the grand final, that was all Nathan Cleary. Nathan Cleary made him look like a superstar. He's a very average number 7. Like he could not organize a bloody root in a brothel if he wanted to, because his organization skills and just his last tackle options, his kicking, dare I say, is worse than Lockie Ilias. Willie Mason was not lying when he said they had the worst spine in the competition. Fletcher Sharp and Kalen Ponga, obviously a lot better than what their spine was a couple of years ago, but yeah, they're in for some trouble. Bring in Jackson Hastings, I say. Very controversial take I had on Instagram, and a lot of people were like agreeing and disagreeing. So yeah, very interesting one, that one for the Newcastle Knights. But the Titans, yeah, they finally got a win. They're in the winner's book again. They look absolutely shot for numbers. Des doesn't look interested either. You saw when the camera panned over to Des was really like, just had no expressions. I think he's gone, to be honest. And I think the players are just playing for fun at the moment. So I think that's good for players like Jaden Campbell and AJ Brimson, 102 points. I think that's a nice, solid option. Like pretty solid Supercoach scoring game. We've got some comments in the chat. We've got Hayden Williams, 1604, pending updates, 2.5K overall. Welcome to the top 1,000, Hayden Williams. Nathan Spencer, Matty Nicholson to Ellie Katoa next week. I know Ellie Katoa doesn't play round 12, but don't even worry about that. Lock it in. Daniel Johns, 1650 and ranked 11,000 green arrows. Of course, you probably take over me, to be honest. Like it is that tight between the top 10K. BD swings and roundabout Sabs. Good on you for doing the wrap up no matter what, or a down week. But listen, mate, I'm always going to be here. SuperCoach, like this platform, this podcast platform is more than what my SuperCoach score is going to be. So always happy to wrap up, and I know how good it feels when you have a good week and you're listening to someone absolutely rap your good players. So always be here for that service. Pat Edmonds. Papi was great, but Munster was the icing on the storm cake. He really was. Like, he just dominated the last half. After Papi had that first 3 tries, he just dominated. So having Munster and Papi was so crucial this week. Big M, they play so much through Sharp. Not sure if dominance is... Yeah, I think it is taken away from KP scores, because in 2023, KP did back up a lot through the middle, whereas Fletcher Sharp is doing that now, and Kalen Ponga is kind of setting up for the next play. So I think that's where it takes away from Ponga quite a lot. I've just gone back to a comment. Macapaka said, I saw someone say, always captain Papi at Amy Park on Sunday afternoon. Glad I did that. Ended up with 1628. I've seen 1700 though. Crazy how last week was a massive week. It didn't look like it was anywhere near that this week, but that Melbourne Storm game really, really made sure par went up. Bailey Lloyd Nicholson for Nikora. I think Nikora is starting to cook. I bought him last week. He's still going to be relatively cheap. So I think it's a nice little trade. Corey, can tell you're feeling the punish, Sav. Chin up, bro. It is a bit disheartening when you're on the charge and then a little dagger like this happens, but it's also like, it's part of the game. You can't really there's nothing worse for me when someone comes out, has a bad performance in the SuperCoach side and just goes quiet. So it's okay. I'm happy with how my side is going, and I just hope the drop isn't below 10K. If it is below 10K, that'll be a real dagger. But if it's not below, then I feel like I'm still headed in a good direction. You think Hoskins could get dual started at prop last week and played the week before? I don't think he will now, because with the injury to Nicholson, he'll move back to the back row. So it kind of sucks, but I don't think he will, which is unfortunate. But I think he's more valuable at second row than front row at the moment, to be honest. The good play, Sharp is the best support player in the game at the moment, in my opinion. I think he's very good. Maybe not the best support player in the game, but I think at the moment, he's not far off. Like, I think the support game of a lot of players has really lacked just because of all the structure. And I think just because he's so raw, he just brings so much in that support game. Cats and Cubes, I got lucky with 1761, but seeing 2 people higher than that, unfortunately. I think 1761 is still a great score. I'd be happy with that. Like, I know you really gun for that top round score, but like, got to be happy with that for sure. Benenbatch Comedict. Oh, where's that name from? Avage. Oh, yeah. He's in the background. The S in the Savage is off. Yeah, I got to get that fixed. I'm an electrician, so I really should fix that myself. Is Herbie a must, says Ange? I don't think he's a must, but I think he's going to have that big game very soon. All right, let's move on to the next game, and it is the Rabbitohs played the Broncos. Latrell Mitchell top score with 84, and what a cheeky try he had at the end. I loved that. The 2-point field goal worth 10 points. So he scored about 40 points in that last little bit. But just going to SuperCoach data on Instagram, and Latrell Mitchell is going to lose 68K, and he's going to have an 89 break even. So SuperCoach wise, I think he probably gets picked for Origin, but he's going to lose, did I say 80K? 70K. He's going to lose 70K. So he's going to go down to like 590. He's going to be at a really good price. I think his draw's not that good till after Origin, but like even still, he's got the Tigers next week. If you can have 1 week play on someone like Latrell Mitchell, yes, please. Oh my God. That'd be very, very nice. Kolomatangi, 73 points in the middle. A lot of that, that was mainly pure base. 36 points in tackles, 39 points in runs. So 75 in pure base. You take away like all the negatives and stuff. Add an offload, ineffective offload. You got a tackle bus taken off him. You got a tackle bus taken off. How weird is that they can take away a tackle bus? But 73 points in the middle. I think if he's named in the middle again, I think after that performance, he's got to stay there for sure. A lot of us really tipped that off early in the season, and I think that is going to be the play for them. Ewan Aiken, 66, Arrow, 51, Hubner upgraded to 50. Very, very nice. Fletcher Myers, 43, and Supercoach wise, Humphrey, 6, Jai 3. The early season Golden Childs really struggling this game. I think Humphrey's injured, or I think Gray was injured for sure. Haas top scored for the Broncos, 89 points. Carrigan, 79. It's just the story of their season. Them two top scoring every week. Adam Reynolds up there with 70 points. Tony Stagg, 73. Ryan Hadley, one of the members from our podcast, boarding Cobbo this week for a 72. I think he looked really good, better than a 72. The big talking point for this week, Brendan Piakura, 260K, 9 break even, pumps out a 62. Let's dissect that. 28 points, 8 points in offloads, so that's 36 points, and then 22 points in runs, so 58 points in base and power. 64 points in base and power. Pure base, 22, 50 points. So that's the Piakura I want to see. Don't think he plays round 12. Doesn't play round 12, but plays the Dragons next week. So if he does jag that starting spot, he could be a really good option. Like I think with King Tonga not probably being not going to be a cheapy option next week, I think Piakura could be a guy in second row. And we have a lot of second rowers we can get rid of, a lot of us. Not much else for the Broncos right there. Kick it off to the first game on Saturday. Joe Tarpanay top scored for the Raiders, 90 points. Hudson Young, 86. Tarpanay, I think he's going to turn into a buy-round specialist for a lot of us. He's quietly just being really, really good this year. Like, I think just because of the abundance of front rows we haven't looked at him, but 51, 92, 91, 103, 49, 88, 72, and then a 90 this week. So he's had 4 scores over 90, and 88, and a 72. Like, in years past, if Tarpanay scores that, we're all over him. But just because the front rows we have, we're spoiled for choice at the moment. So I think, like, he's probably a better buy-in than half of these bloody edge back rollers. And I think with Haas and potentially May going off to Origin, straight to him. It's him over AFB for sure for me. Hosking, 81 points. Let's have a look at his price because he's going to be very relevant. He's going to be 500K. He'll probably go back to that edge, but he's probably a 600K player. Plays the Titans next week. So we'll start on the edge with the injury to Nicholson. So I think he's going to be a very popular option. Tamale gets his break in by 4 points, but we'll have a fairly highish break even. We'll go to Supercoach data on Instagram once again. Tamale, 79 break even, but plays the Titans. So I'd be willing to actually hold on to him and play Tamale next week. He does play on the left. We really do want a right winger against the Titans, though. For the Bulldogs, Stephen Crichton top scores 104 points, and this takes him to 2 tons in a row. Scored 111 last week, and quietly, since he's got the goal kicking, he's been pretty good. Let's have a look. So he actually missed a goal on the weekend, scored like 22 in a row. He got the goal kick in round 2 and it hasn't come off him since then. I know a lot of people went Burton, so I think him going to Origin is going to be a blessing for Burton owners because maybe Burton takes the kicking over that period. But since the goal kicking, 50, 43, 64, 42, 77, 52, 111, then 104. Maybe he is an option this year. He's averaging 57.4, and then after this week, it's probably a lot more than it's probably more than 60. So, yeah, maybe it is an option this year. Kick out 99 points. Mikey absolutely finally really happy he bought in kick out over Hudson Young when Hudson Young scored 138. And Kickhouse finally repaid him. Connor Tracy just keeps on keeping on. 580K, I think, is that? He's got 100 last week. When he goes big, doesn't he? 87 on the weekend. Karaz, another try for 78. And not much else. What price is Burton getting to? He's getting down in price, so maybe I mean, the 5'8's so stacked at the moment now. Like, I've got Campbell and Brown. I'm not moving any of them on. Let's answer some questions. Savs, what are you doing with KP? I think I'll wait till next week and I'll reassess. I do like, yeah, I'll wait till next week and reassess. He plays the Parramatta next week, so I'm happy with that. So I'll just wait and see what the go is there. But I might sell to like I don't know, anyone over the origin period, just like maybe Gutho again, to be honest. Like, I think Gutho is going to be a nice option once the draw opens up again. Silico welfare check on Savs this week. Come on. Did you see the start of the stream? If you didn't, scroll back because I did talk about how people saying that a lot has really gotten me very angry. No, I'm not angry. I'm not angry. I kid. Tough week for many of us, mate. Listen, I think it's a good week and it's a bad week for some. Like 13-15, come on, that's not a bad score. But when you're seeing 1700s, like it means you're 400-500 off the mark. So we regroup. We'll go again. And the 2 low games for Tarpanay were sin bins. Good point. He's just been beast mode this year for sure. How long's Nicholson out for? I think I saw a report today. I know it's definitely more than, I think it's about, is it 6 weeks or 10 weeks? I don't know. I saw a report today. It's a long time. Daniel Johns, how long is Marju out for? At least 4 weeks. They're waiting on scans, but they're hoping cartilage damage, and if it is, that's 4 weeks. So he's out for a while. Out for 2 months. Nicholson is out for 2 months. There you go. What's King Tonga's BA? We'll go over to SuperCoach data, and they were the 5:30 game, so we'll go over to that. But King Tonga, -45 break even. So let's go to that game. 14-15. Egan top scored with 83 coming off the bench. I got lucky here, to be honest, because I saw the news that he got moved to the bench and I wanted to play someone else, but I just couldn't. I had no one to go in there. So I just ran the gauntlet and lucky he scored. I knew he'd probably come off the bench and score 50 anyway. That's what he was doing earlier in the season. So pretty happy that he scored a try. Got lucky there. But I think this just reaffirms to me that he's going to be a sell once he peaks. Like, yeah, he's a footballer, but you just can't, like these young, you can't rely on them. You can't rely on their minutes. Like, coming into first grade for a full season is a big, big thing for them. So I think while they're young, there are certain people who are, what's the word? Like Hopgood in his first season. He was a hold for the whole year, but he was older when he debuted and had that big first season. Egan is still quite. So I think he will be a sell because he will fall off. Oh, it was Galvin last year. I kept saying it. I kept saying kids don't last long in first grade because but like towards the end of the year, their bodies are banged up. But I think as a forward, Dylan Egan, this will be the case for him. Bell Holmes, 76 points. Probably a top 4 center wing for the end of the year. Gutho, 71 points, 125 break even, getting really down in price at the moment. So as a Broncos next week, happy to hold off. But then potentially Newcastle, Dolphins, Sharks, Para, Canberra. Draw's not that great, is it? Like, I don't think his draw is very good. Like at the start of the year, it was nice. Like the Bulldogs, or was it nice? Was it just like the Dragons came in really fit compared to other ones, and the other teams are just catching up now? Like, I don't know. I don't know who the fullback over the origin period is going to be. But I think, yeah, we've got to consider Gutho again because he's getting down in price, but also maybe not. King Tonga updated to 37 points, which is quite nice, actually. So we go over to SuperCoach data on Instagram, probably goes up like, it's probably -57 break even after that. Dylan Egan, -12 break even, and Hamish Stewart, another -12 break even with a score of 48. Hamish Stewart. Going over to the Warriors and Aaron Clark. Jesus Christ, how good has he been? He makes a lot of money. Holy heckers. Let's go. He makes 60K 60K. So he'll be 667K. He's a lot of money. And he scores since Dylan Walker has left has been so good. Like 71, 55, 108, 65, and then 104 on the weekend. He did have a try assist on the weekend, but let's just break down his stats. 47 tackles and 29 points in runs. That is elite. 8 points in tackle bus, 2 points in offloads, and a line break assist. That's what you want from players of that caliber. Like, maybe he's someone you just plug in. I think at the price now, it's a bit awkward, but yeah, Halasima 44, we're very keen on him. Timmy actually got in Wade Egan on the weekend, 57, no attacking stats. So I think you'll be relatively happy with that. I think the fact that Riley Smith scored 60 points for a lot less money, I think that's going to be a bit disheartening for him. And myself, who got in McInnes for 58. I think Riley Smith was a play this week, but long term, what's it going to be? Sorry, I just need a drink. Timari Martin, 146 break even. He's had one game. He's had two games now, and his break even is going to be 199 next week. So if an injury happens in the halves, we're going to be looking at him. Chanel Harris Tavita, he's finally come back down to life, but yeah, really good purchase at the start of the year if you decide to jump on. Let's go back into the stream for some questions. Silico, I'll scroll back and watch. Yeah, definitely do it. I bought Burton the week he got booked, and 2 weeks later, JC is back and it outscored him over the 3 rounds. Yeah, that is rough. That's rough for sure. I think I was very keen on Burton too. You do bank 100K from that trade, but I don't know. I'm pretty happy I held on. But although Jaden Campbell didn't look 100% fit, like that ankle looked pretty cooked, to be honest. Daniel got to 13th for the Cannons, 15:38 this week, 5 wrists on the pine and horse injured. That's a pretty solid effort. I think you're going to hold steady. I think you're going to hold steady for sure. I think you're going to hold steady, even though you had to hold Teddy. Haha. I don't even know you had Teddy. Tragics, 16:38 without Papi as captain. SR 250 thoughts. What does SR 250 mean? Strike rate? 16:38 is still very solid though. Paycheck, don't worry, Savs. Tell people your rank and they'll go quiet. 16:20 for me. This 16:20 for me this week, but that's because of your sage advice. Well, thank you, Paycheck. You've been very good. You've been very good. You're a very loyal YouTube listener, and I see you get around on the SuperCoach YouTube. So I like when people are watching multiple shows. It means you're making your own decisions, but you're just taking everyone else's information. I kind of do the same thing. I listen to all the SuperCoach shows, and I make my own decision. I know when someone is like off someone, and I'm listening to a show, and they're like kind of talking against them. It kind of like it never changes my mind. It just makes me think, well, I like this person for this reason, and people are off him. Like, this is good for me. I love this. I doubled down on it nearly. So, yeah, it's double-edged sword because, like, sometimes the advice is very good advice to listen to, but at the end of the day, go with your gut because I think most of the time it is luck. It's what's the saying? Preparation meets opportunity, and I think that's what SuperCoach is, where your preparation and research and your work that gets put into your team meets the matchup and becomes the opportunity. Bailey, 1487, very good score, very nice. 1578, dropped 179 spots. Nice. Luke Easton, 1533, perhaps a C, not bad. Not bad, 1533. A lot of 1600s getting out there, but I think like there's a massive line between Papi captainers and Papi owners and non-Papi owners and non-Papi captainers. So you're definitely on the good side of stuff. Tragic's 250 season rank. Oh, you flipped to Cleary. That's so you would have been 1738 with you would have been 1738 had you captain Pappy, but with 1638, I think you're going to the top 100 still. So I'd still be okay with that. All right, let's go on to Cowboys played the Panthers. Scotty Drinks, 117 points. Jesus Christ, he's been so good. I think he's been one of the better trade-ins of the year, and I didn't expect him to score this well, but he always does score well against Penrith. Like, you look at his career versus Penrith and 74, 117, 39. Like, his average against Penrith is, it's only 52. It says his high score is only 95 against Penrith. I feel like that's wrong. I feel like he's scored more against them. I must be wrong. So that's his first ton against Penrith. Wow. Is he getting to that elite level? So he hasn't tonned against Manly. He hasn't tonned against the Sharks, and he hasn't tonned against the Broncos. So I've posted a couple of times this year, Teddy became the second player of all time to have a ton against every club in the NRL, besides the club he played for. Cleary was first to do it when he played the Dolphins last year. Scott Drinkwater is not far away. He's 3 off. So if he tons against Manly next week, he'll only need a ton up against the Sharks and the Broncos to become the third. But Tommy is actually the closest to. He needs 1, and that's first the Melbourne Storm. So I didn't realize Scotty Drinkwater was that high up there. So shout out Scotty Drinkwater. I know you're watching. Jackson Purdue, a lot of people sold him this week, 85 points. I'm still happy with the sell. I think a lot of people, don't be disheartened by it. I think it was a smart sell. He topped out in price and still lost money. A lot of people still have a relatively high break even. As we go over to SuperCoach data, supercoachdata.com. Purdue, 77 break even. So the break even's still high, still needs to score well next week. He's a good player, but I think we're definitely going to be happy that we sold to a keeper. Nanai, 81 points. Bateman, 74. Robson, 54. Not much doing for the Cowboys, to be honest. For Penrith, Blaze Talangi, 4 try assists and a try, 112 points. Papali'i is back, 94 points. We'll get that dual front row. 500K, maybe worth a flyer over the origin period. Yo, 82. Gonna 82, 350K. Had a weird rotation, was off for like 20 minutes. Cleary, 81. To'o, 52. And Jenkins come off the bench, scored a try, 44. And Dylan Edwards, 42. He's botting him out, so he's going to be 700K. Hopefully he loses more. He won't lose more catch next week because they have the bye, but not playing Origin, maybe. So, yeah, let's answer more questions. Silico, 58% of the top 1% captain Pappy, so definitely a little room to climb for sure. For sure, 58% also means 42% didn't. So I think the 58% that did captain, you're going to move for sure. The Rage Traders. Look at Jacob Safidi's numbers. Yum, golden pod. Let's have a look. You're a real pod hunter, aren't you? Rage Traders. Shout out. He was meant to be on the show tonight, but we mixed up times, so he'll be on next week. Jacob Safidi, 72. 360K. I mean, he's lost 105K, so it can't be that good, right? 59 and 72. So what does he go up as per supercoachdata.com.au? Safidi. -4. He makes 4,000. Wow. Okay, hold on. I've got the NRL up here. Let's go to round 10. So I'm just sussing out Jacob Savidi's numbers, minutes, etc., etc. So Jacob Savidi last week, 47 minutes, had 48 minutes in round one. Last week, 25 points in tackles, 6 points in tackle bars, 31 points in runs. Last week, how many minutes did he have this week? I mean, if it wasn't very similar, then I'd be shocked because I think they definitely do need him. 56 minutes. 56 minutes. Wow. Safidi, 31 points in tackles, 2 points in tackle bars, 4 points in offloads, 35 points in runs. I'm sold. I am sold. Can I make it happen? Interesting. Good little pod there. Oh, I don't want to get up this game. Tragic trade advice, lad. I'm low for the buys. Well, you have to show me your team. I think you did ask before. I'll have to look at it during the week. Scored 15.01, sitting around 4K mark. How do I check my spots if I'm going to drop? Wait till tonight. They usually updates overnight. Rage Traders, what did I score? I scored 13-15. Aaron Breezy, I'm keeping Purdue and I hope it works out. Listen, I actually don't mind the hold at all. I think a lot of us sold last week, but if you're sticking strong with holding, I don't think it's a bad move at all. He'll play round 18 as well. 56 minutes. Oh, I should have just waited for you. Ding, 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 ding. Leo Thompson only play 40 minutes. Yeah, I think Leo Thompson's going to keep that up, to be honest. Yeah, I think he's going to keep that up. Just something to watch out for. What did Jaden say? Sounds like a good downgrade for Horse. Yeah, I like it, eh? Daniel Reed. I like it. Savs, can you explain to me how to see live rankings? Okay, so within the app, this is the app, right? So if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see. Click on leagues and then go into like I'm in a lot of overall groups, but what I like to do is I like to go in my smallest overall group, which is it's ground zero. So this is the group I have with a lot of other dudes in the community. So see over here where it says overall rank, and it says this guy is live rank 127. He's gone up 278 spots. So that's not his actual rank. That's his live rank as of overnight. You go to mine. My live rank last night was 1900th. Far out. I was doing pretty good until the Papi news. Jesus Christ. So yeah, just look in the overall rank in any overall league and you'll see it. That's going to update overnight. So you can check that tomorrow morning. Obviously I'm ranked 2,500th, but my live rank here is 1900th. But that was as of last night. Tomorrow morning, I'll check that and that'll be the rank that I'll be locked out at. So it's a nice little trick to look at. And like, it really, like I'm not hanging out for 10:30 waiting for my rank because I can see it first thing in the morning, which it's the best thing to just like switch off SuperCoach for the day, because otherwise I'd be checking the app every single minute of the day waiting, especially when it's a green arrow for sure. The Storm. Ryan Pappenhausen, 176 points, the highest SuperCoach score of the year, 4 tries, 40 points in goals. So that's just what the difference is with someone with goal kicking. That's only 136 points if he isn't goal kicking. So I think that just proves like these elite players that have goal kicking and don't really have that high ceiling, when they have the goal kicking, it's just so much better. And he kicks them well too. 2 points in tackles, 14 points in tackle busts, 20 points in line breaks, a line break assist, 24 points in runs. What a day out for Papi. But I think like you compounded a Papi captain with a Cameron Munster in your 5'8", 3 try assists and a try. If you have a Jerome Hughes in your side, if you've got a Xavier Coates, even I've seen people with all 4, and it's very likely, like, I think when teams are hot like this, you've got to load up like this with these hot players. Whereas, like, I don't think anyone's really been standing out for long periods of time. Like, I think the Roosters have done pretty good, but like there hasn't been a team that has really stuck out to like be that side where you can just load them all up and just guaranteed a good score every week. I think the Storm will be that, but now the Origin period's hitting, it might even affect them. So this is what they needed. I think a lot of people do have Storm players, and it's really paid off for sure. 69 points. Terrell May, 70 points. Might miss out on Origin. I think there's a bit of talk about that. Lockie Gowan, 36. What else we got? Bronson Garlic, hooker 2RF, 291K. He would have been a nice person to. I should have bought him this week. That would have been nice. But yeah, not much else here, unless anyone wants any questions about this game. I really wish I had some Melbourne players. But like, shout out to the people that did. There's nothing better than watching your SuperCoach players on a Sunday score that many SuperCoach points. It's so good. Sav's literally savage in the intro. Shout out Parker. Yeah. If you listen back to the intro, then you're a good man. You're a good man. Sorry, I'm bloody cut out for a second. 2 tackles just really shows what Pap can do when teams aren't putting any pressure on him and Storm are breezing. Man, I don't know if he's a good buy because 2 tackles, I just need more from my players in base scores, to be honest. So I think I'll pass. Cornlord Savs, I have Paps, KP, and Herbie at flex. Do I just need to get Drinky and Teddy in? Feel like I'm getting left behind, but sure, it's not worth paying such a high price from Tigers. You're in the Cornlord is in the Bonnie Blue crew. We have a group chat. It's called the Bonnie Blue crew, and there was an article put in there today, which was, the Tigers staff member who sits in the box, and they literally always point to her. I think they know they're doing it, and Benji Marshall's just sitting there. There's always her behind her, and everyone goes nuts every time they see her. Her name's Cassidy Grant. Oh, I shouldn't have said her name, to be honest, but there was an article that came out today, and it was about her, and I think everyone in the comments went crazy because they're like, I was looking for her name, blah, blah, blah. That was a very smart play by the Telegraph Sport. But back to the question. Cowboys have Manly at home next. Then they miss round 12. So what's Drinkwater's break even going to be? Let's go to SuperCoach data once again. Drinkwater, 54 break even, makes 83K. So it goes to about 900K. I think with Teddy as well, plays Bulldogs next week, who defensively have been very good. So I'll just wait a week, especially with Teddy. Could get that Origin spot. And then Drinkwater, just wait till round 12. Like, just reassess, see where you're at next week. Hold on to Ponga. He's got a pretty good draw next week. So I would hold on and make that decision as late as possible, because it's nothing worse than paying 900K for a person and then they go back down. I think you've missed, like, it'd be okay if Drinkwater and Teddy had just scored 100. Actually, with Teddy, I would pull the trigger in a heartbeat, but we don't know about Origin. If he doesn't get to Origin, then I'd buy him round 12. But like with Drinkwater, it's a bit hard because like I get buying him after the first 100, but after 3 in a row, like, can he keep it up? By the way he's playing, he surely can. All right, let's go to the last game quickly. Cooler, 87. Simkin, 52. Olaquatu, 47. And Garrick, 36. Very underwhelming. Just Tabunga, someone I was looking at this week, 47 points. Tommy Turbo, 41 points. I think his price is getting so low, but he goes into Origin, so I think that's very awkward. Tommy Turbo loses 91K, has 110 break even against Cowboys next week. So how much did I say he loses? 91K. Goes to about 620K. Ponga to Turbo next week. Turbo captain. He looks hindered by that injury though. So like, I don't think you can buy him because he's still going to have a high break even. But like, is he going to come out prior to Origin next week and just prove he's fit? Like, I see that happening. 150 score next week, captain. Oh, how good would that be? For the Sharks, Nico Hines is back. Like, he's controlling that side now. I'm glad they've given the keys to Nico because what they're doing with this Nico Trindle thing, like sharing the load, it wasn't working. And Nico Hines is elite. Trindle can just sit back and do his thing. And I think Nico has really benefited from that. So if you don't have Nico, he's back. Get him in your side. Iro, 76 points. KL, have they changed it in the app, his name? They haven't. Oh, dirty. That's dirty, SuperCoach. That's not very good. Fanil Blake, 80 points. Mulatalo, 72. Billy Burns, 69 points. Billy Burns, he makes... Billy Burns makes 63K. Will have a break even of 26 next week. He was in some of my trade plans this week. So he goes up to 450. He would have been a great purchase. Jesus Christ. Nico 74. I think he's warming up. He's now his absolute lowest. He makes a little bit of cash, but his break even goes back down once again. His break even will be 34. So I think it's time to jump on Nicola. Does have the Melbourne Storm next week. So at least by around 12, potentially. Brayley 56, McInnes 58. Nice little line break assist towards the end. Ramian 55. He's botting me out in price. I like Ramian as well, but I think that's it. Let's go to some more questions. Do you think if you don't have Herbie, you wait or buy ASAP? Who does Herbie have next week? I'm pretty sure like his draw is easy now. Like he's gotten past the hard stuff. Oh, he's got the Warriors and then he's got the Bulldogs around 12. But mind you, he plays left side. Crichton usually plays right. So Crichton will be out for Origin. So it's a pretty good matchup in round 12 against the Bulldogs. I think, how much is he? 84, 7. Yeah. I think just get him in if you can. If you don't have any other pressing issues, I would say just get him in, to be honest. I think that's a smart thing to do. Daniel Reed, 5'8" is a dumpster for me. Brought in King Tonga and have Brimson in Senong. Brother. King Tonga, that's going to be disappointing. Lucky updated to 37, but it would be so on brand for him to get dropped this week, won't it? Trade in options for Gutho and KP over the next 2 weeks. I don't know, brother. I think maybe fullbacks isn't the spot to target at the moment, but maybe it could be like a Pappenhausen, Turbo, Latrell, Teddy I like, but they all go off to Origin. So, yeah, I'd be trading in like your Herbies, your Karazes, and all that sort of stuff. Tragics, do you think I have too much tied up in centre wing? I think Marky Mark finishes top 5 centre wing. Thoughts on both? I like Marky Mark. I think Marky Mark is a very good purchase. I've liked the look of him, but since he's gone to wing, he's offloaded a lot less. But he's scoring more tries, so bit of a take some, you lose some. Do we need to sell Cleary during the Origin? Yeah, I think Cleary's a sell over Origin. I was actually marked Cleary to Tonga next week as a trade potential, but not doing that now because Tonga is just kind of not really. I wanted him to score more this week. So I wanted to guarantee more in a price rise next week, but misses the buy this week, next week, and then goes to Origin the week after, and then probably doesn't back up and then has another buy. I think out of 10 weeks, he plays 3 or 4 maximum. Daniel, I wouldn't pick Turbo. Yeah, well, yeah. Savs, can you explain how to check live ranks on the app, please? I just did that like not long ago, so just scroll back. So glad I got Nico. He looked really good. Yeah, he's been really good to have, and he feels like he's still a pod. So it's been a really good look. Jay Fraser, straight buy tomorrow. What does that mean? Tragic. Pick my team. Pick my round 11 trades. Can't see your team, mate. Thanks, lad. Legend. We're doing the Real Talk segment again tonight. What's Real Talk? The Real Talk segment again tonight. Oh, I don't remember last week. I know last week got a bit real. What was it last week? What did we talk about last week? You can play Hines maybe during Origin. Don't think he gets picked. Yeah, for sure. Hines doesn't get picked. So I think Hines might be someone you sit next week against Melbourne, potentially. Because he's that type of player that can really go low against these sort of sides, like doesn't go big. So, I mean, if you got a strong 17, he's worth considering to sit on your bench. Could you hold if you already own Hines? Yeah, I think you can. Like I was considering going clear to King Tonga. Now I'm just probably going to hold because realistically, it's a couple of trades to get in and out. So you may as well hold, especially if the rest of your side's pretty good. Mitchell Finch, what's the ideal best 3 2RFs to get through Origin? I think Nikora, Olakuatu, and Katoa. It's an easy question. Easy question. Nikora straight by. Yeah, 100%. Our rate traders next week, Savs and I are doing a 3-hour show. Oh, I don't want to do a 3-hour show. I don't want to do a 3-hour show. I want to do like a 20-minute show. Let's do an 8-minute show wrapping up the week. Nah, let's do 3 hours. Nah, not 3 hours. Let's do an hour and a half. Bailey, I'm worried for the Sharks next week. Yeah, me too. Me too. Lucky I don't have too many of them. I'm actually okay to have McInnes. Like, I like that I got McInnes because he's going to make 1,000 tackles next week. Daniel Reid Hughes to come good. I think he's come really, really good, actually. But he's still injured. Like, he went off early today, so I think that was a sign. 104 points. Goes back up to just above 600. So, you're not really making that much by going clear to Hughes, but I think he's turned a corner. I think he can wait, though, because doesn't play round 12 and plays the Sharks next week, who defensively only concede I think it's 57 to halfbacks. Coates and Zeri dropped 4-leg multis, surely a double for both next week. Coates and Cherry dropped 4-leg I don't know what you mean there. Coates and Zeri dropped 4-leg, surely a double for both next week. What do you mean 4-leg multis? Did they something I'm missing out on? Tell Timmy to Silico, tell Timmy to record a pod of his ramblings by himself for 2 hours, like you mentioned last 2 Tuesdays. I'd listen. Wow, I think there's definitely an avenue for that. He's called me a few times over the weekend, and just I talk so much. He probably will listen to this too because he's done well. So, yeah, we should definitely explore that option. I don't know whether he could do it in his own, I'll tell you what I should do. When he calls me next, I'll make sure I'm at the computer so I can record the whole conversation, and then we'll get him that way. I'll call him while I'm at home. Actually, I'll call him tomorrow. We're doing a Timmy's ramblings tomorrow. So tomorrow, actually, he doesn't do SuperCoach on Mondays. I want to get him on a Thursday because that's when he's wigging out heaps. Oh, probably a Wednesday, but I can't really do Wednesdays. So, okay. I think I'm tired. I think I'm going to go to sleep. All right. Thanks for tuning in to the Papi Free Zone podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully ranks are kind to you tomorrow, and hopefully ranks are kind to me tomorrow as well. We'll see you Tuesday, and good luck with the SuperCoach. Enjoy the day off footy tomorrow. We never will, though. See you later.